All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our 5,475th meeting of the Oakland Rotary Club. I'm Tom Limon, president of our club. We were founded in 1908. We are the third oldest Rotary Club in the world, with more than 36,000 Rotary clubs in over 200 countries worldwide. Our club, thank you. Our club represents a diverse membership of 290 people, made up of business, professional, and community leaders, united to serve our local and international communities through a commitment to service above self. Welcome to our friends on Zoom. Hey, Daniel. All right, David. All right, is Kaz there? We have a member who just applied who is going to make it, but good to see Pam and Ken and Gabriel and Deborah. Welcome. All right. You know, as you know, we're not supposed to use our phones during our meetings, but I really do encourage you to pull it out and to like us on social media. It really helps us with our visibility and presence online. Past District Governor Ed Jelen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, President Tom. And it's my pleasure to introduce a visiting Rotarian who is here with us today. Our visiting Rotarian is Justin Bank with the Little Rock Metro Club. Please welcome Justin.
All right, welcome Justin. Justin, and he'll be up here in just a few minutes. He's got a flag for us. So good to see you again, Justin. All right, do we have any guests in the room? If you have a guest, please introduce yourself and your classification before introducing your guest. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Hi, I would like to introduce a guest of mine, my father, Daryl, currently of Rossmore and formerly of the Long Beach Rotary Club from years back. So, welcome, Daryl.
All right, welcome.
Tom, you gonna let me just pick?
Yep, you go. Or Ramona.
Point again, Mary. Okay.
Hi, I have the pleasure of introducing a potential new member. He's been asking me about Rotary, and so he asked me about joining, so I thought nothing better than come check us out. I hope you'll all introduce yourself to Jason Matthews, Wealth Management. You might have seen him on television this morning also.
Channel 2, right?
Welcome, Jason.
All right, he's monthly on Channel 2, you guys. All right, Lorna.
Good afternoon, President Tom and fellow Rotarians. My name is Lorna Padilla-Marquez. I'm actually introducing Tom Limon's guest, Adriana Yoryazin. She's a local photographer.
And she's amazing. She's amazing. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, Lorna.
Don't get excited.
Nima. Oh, can we do Nima? Sorry. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Nima Link. I'd like to introduce Puriya. He's from UC Berkeley and a prospective Rotarian and a great philosophical and psychological mind. Ask him some questions after.
All right, welcome.
Keith Uriarte, mostly retired. My guest today is Eduardo Luna, the Assistant City Auditor for the City of Oakland, Assistant City Auditor for the newly Auditor-elect Michael Houston, and Eduardo will be joining soon. Thank you.
All right, welcome. We got a Formula One fan next.
A new member, Nunu.
Yes. Hi, President Tom and fellow Rotarians. I'm Nuno Ferreira, a fairly new member here, and I have the privilege of bringing a prospective new member, Jay Connor. Jay and his wife are partners at Tyranny Connor Architecture here in Oakland.
All right, welcome today. And we also have Iris Brody Lopez online, so let's all say hi to Iris.
Hi, Iris. President Tom, Peter Turner, old member, returning here after COVID hunking down. Nice to see your face. Yeah, I have a guest here, Dan Biles, Dick's Carpets. He's a former member of Rotary. He came back to take a look at the club.
All right, welcome back, both of you. Thank you.
Hold on, I see you. It's my second time I'm getting to see you.
Oh, do we have one more guest?
We might.
Okay.
Joycey's going to say something.
Joycey Mack.
I'm going to introduce my husband.
Oh, wow.
this guy here. I'm Joyce Mack, and this is my husband. Believe it or not, his name is Bruce Lee.
All right. All right, love the outfit too, Joyce.
All right, anybody else got a guest? Anybody else want to just say hello, like, hello, McAvoy?
All right.
All right, looks like we're done.
Well, thank you everyone for being here today, and welcome to our guests. And Nima Link, would you please share with us your thought for the day?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom. All right, welcome, Nima. Check. Dichotomies shackle us by forcing us to choose. Paradox obliterates dichotomy. Are they heroes or are they evil? Well, I am extraordinarily courageous and bold and take risks that others would shiver at. And I am insecure and doubtful and shiver, and often at the same time. I am 100% American, and another 40% Iranian. We no longer have to choose. We can be everything all at once. If this statement were true, it would be false. Someone asked me, what is the difference between irony and paradox? Well, one is ironic and the other paradoxical. The best actor isn't acting. The most generous has nothing to give. A paradox, which is obviously a paradox, is not a paradox. That's a really good one. Or wait, is it not? As the Tao Te Ching says, difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. And as Jimmy Buffett says, if the phone doesn't ring, it's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nima. All right, thank you, Nima. Let's see. So we have a special guest. He was a former member of our club and very important part of our club. He's come to present a flag. And Justin, go ahead.
Thanks. Thank you very much. An honor to be able to address the club. I'll make it very brief. I had to call my Rotary president today to get our Rotary number. So Steve Maxwell, thank you very much for letting me know that I am in the 26,000th club for Rotary. But to consider this your official invitation, everybody, to come visit Little Rock Metro Rotary. We meet at Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. It's a breakfast club. You're all invited. Thank you so much.
Here we go. Okay. You guys ready? Am I ready? I don't feel ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys look so good looking. Okay.
Thank you. All right, and just remember, everyone, when you're traveling, it's so much fun to go to another club, especially if you're in a major city in the world, Paris, London. Go check out a Rotary. You'll be really surprised at who's attending those meetings. Coming up, Peter, if we could get a slide up. We have a district training coming up. So these are really important. This one is on April 6th from 9 to 2. You can either attend in person or online. But following that, they will also have a Watch, Listen, and Learn series with 13 sessions over 6 evenings. So this is really a place where if you're on a specific committee, if you want to make more of an impact, this is where you go to learn good practices, but also get to meet other people in the district who have been doing this for years and who are really experts in whatever committee you're doing. And you can learn from them and you can share ideas. So it's really impactful work. Also, we have the district conference coming up April 26th to the 28th in San Jose. That's the same weekend as Enterprise Institute. I'm going to double dip. I'm going to be at Enterprise Friday and be at the district conference on Saturday. But they also have, this is an overnight activity. They still have hotel rooms that are reasonably priced, and they throw good parties at these district conferences, believe it or not. So please try to make it. Just mark it on your calendar. And One of our committees is going to be recognized at the lunch on Saturday, and they're going to be recognizing Rotarians who have been part of Rotary for 20 years or more. So we have a special introduction. Dave, come on up. 3-minute introduction.
3-minute introduction. Hello, thank you, President Tom. Fellow members, guests of the great Rotary Club number 3. My name is Dave Cannon, and I'm here for a short personal introduction. I was born in Los Angeles. Let me get going here. And then I had my 6th birthday in Shiraz, Iran, believe it or not, because my father here, Daryl, joined the Peace Corps in 1966 with a family of 4 kids, of which I was the oldest at age 6. That was the end of families being part of the Peace Corps. Anyway, we moved to Long Beach, and that's where I grew up mostly. Played a lot of golf, played a lot of music. Graduated, went on to UCLA and got a very valuable degree in political science, which I used to go up to Lake Tahoe, and I spent a winter, 1983, at Squaw Valley. And when the snow melted, I moved to San Francisco. In San Francisco, I used that very valuable degree in political science to find a career in the field of insurance. They say all roads lead to insurance, and it's true. Anyway, another lucky thing that happened in San Francisco is I met my partner for 37 years, Joan, moved to Oakland, California. We got a black Labrador, and then we had 3 kids, Kevin, Ellen, and Stephen, and they all went to St. Mary's High School in Berkeley. I joined a little insurance brokerage firm here called Sailor and Hill Company years ago, and for about 25 years ago, Linda, I worked over here around the corner on Harrison Street. And then we sold the company a while back, and about a year ago I retired. We love Oakland, even though it's a little hard to love these days. And I've admired this great Oakland Rotary 3 Club from a sort of a short distance for a long time, and I'm really happy to be part of it now and look forward to being useful in the years ahead.
All right, so has anyone done a 3-minute introduction with a banjo? I don't think so, so that might be a first in our 116-year history. Dave, with that 3-minute introduction, you get a badge upgrade. He gets a blue badge. So here you go, Dave.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Tom,
Right
thank
on.
you.
Thank you. All right. Wow. Tough act to follow. So I wanted to give a special thanks to our We Care Committee that's being led by our very own Julie Fox. Thank you, Julie. Let's give her a round of applause. So we have been much more connected with our Rotary members, especially those that have been sick or have had some sort of loss in their life. You know, we really put that at the front of our minds and wanted to make sure that everyone is thought of. And So thank you, Julie, for taking that lead and also handling lunches as well. So thank you. So is David Douglas here today? Because it's his birthday. He dodged a bullet, and I'm not going to ask our real special guest to wear this today, but all right. But you know, we have a lot of birthdays in March. So if we could just flash through the birthdays and sing happy birthday. And we have Dr. Darden we're going to be celebrating in just a minute. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear March babies. Happy birthday to you. All right. So just in this week alone, Daniel Chang, Candace Elder, Linda Chu, Marlene Sachs, Vivian Chen, Fiona Ma, Rosemary, David, and then they've all had birthdays this week. And then coming up very soon is Greg Annis and Alex Polson and Merlin Edwards, and Nima Link. So we're gonna have a busy, fun month, and someone's gonna wear this ugly hat. What? Alex, you wanna? Here, Alex. Alex, you gotta wear this. Thank you. Alex took one for the team. Gary Flaxman, Catherine Coleman, would you please come up? What's that? Okay. All right, let's give these guys a big round of applause. They've worked very hard on this presentation.
Is she coming?
Yeah, let's bring her up. Rosemary, come on up.
Rosemary?
Here, once you get started, I'll bring her.
All right. As the highly accomplished are lauded this month as Oscar-worthy candidates, it is highly appropriate that we reintroduce and celebrate the 90th birthday of an esteemed member of our club who undoubtedly qualifies under any context as to why Rotary membership brings us all closer to being winners. Let us now celebrate our own Dr. Rosemary Darden, PhD.
Two standing ovations.
All right, then you go when they're through.
Rosemary was born March 7th, 1934 in the city of Mobile, Alabama, home of the oldest Mardi Gras celebration in the U.S., where she was a majorette, learned to value service, and where she still returns from Mardi Gras celebrations.
She moved to Oakland at age 14 with her father, enrolled at McClymonds High, where she'd walk to school with Bill Russell, earn top grades, and spend time with friends at DeFremery Park, where she hung out with many future local and national luminaries, including Ron Dellums.
After graduation in 1951, she enrolled at San Francisco State, where she would meet many future leaders, including Willie Brown. Leadership came early in her career when she became a faculty administrator.
She returned to college full-time when her youngest child, of 4, was just 2 years old to earn a master's and a teaching credential. A dean had to sign off on her degrees because one of the administrators could not believe she had done so much in so little time.
Rosemary credits regular time spent at Asilomar with colleagues as having a dramatic impact on her life. These sessions always included professors and mentors and taught her how to assess and observe before taking action.
Rosemary very much enjoyed serving nearly a decade as a San Francisco City College dean before being invited to become Dean of Science and Technology at Sonoma State.
She was invited by a recruiter to join the Bay Area board at Goodwill Industries, becoming president of the local board before accepting a seat on the national board. She was completing her 6-year term when she was asked to join the international board, where she served for an additional year, serving again as president of the board.
When invited to join a foster care organization in San Francisco, Rosemary suggested a lunch to raise funds to publicize foster kids issues, something that, largely speaking, had not yet been done. Rosemary asked Diane Feinstein to introduce San Francisco Symphony Hall philanthropist Louise Davies at the luncheon, which made it a must-attend event for which tickets ran out, and it was a huge financial success.
Rosemary cherished being the benefactor and beneficiary to follow along as her 4 children and grandchildren earned college degrees and multiple advanced degrees. Besides enjoying world travels in her goodwill roles, Rosemary has been an avid golfer, skier, and walker. Please join us in wishing a happy birthday today to an educator, a volunteer, groundbreaking leader, philanthropist, Dr. Rosemary Darden.
This is so embarrassing.
Here, look, man. Thank you, Julie.
I'd just like to thank the people who put this together and those of you who have come out to wish me a happy 90th birthday. I mean, it's amazing to me. I had no idea that people saw being 90 as such a great deal. But I have had phone calls, and either best or most, or worst of all of my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren will be here today and tomorrow. I have no idea where I'm going to put them all.
How many grandchildren?
I have 4, 2 each of the boys. The girls have no children. But I really want, there's one thing that I thought about and I wanted to share with you, and that is the continuation of Rotary. I don't know if you all know it, Rotarians know it, but we have 2 young people in our Rotary Club that I've known all of their lives. One of them is Eric, and Eric's grandfather was my science teacher at McClymonds. He joined last year. Eric Harris. And the other one is Booker Anderson's son. I knew Booker when I first went to San Francisco State. Booker and I used to ride the old raggedy bus from the old San Francisco State campus out to the new campus. His son is here, Ahmad Anderson is Booker's son. And I knew both, one's grandparent and the other one's parent. So those are 2 young people who want to be and have become a part of Rotary. I thought that was really great.
Thank you, Rose.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So we have a proclamation from the mayor, and thank you, Julie Caskey, for causing this. So I'm just going to skip to the end. It says, "Now, therefore, I, Mayor Sheng Tao, do hereby proclaim our heartfelt appreciation and recognition for the remarkable contributions of Rosemary Darden, PhD, to the City of Oakland. Her legacy of service, advocacy, and philanthropy stands as a beacon of inspiration for all residents." Thank you, Rosemary.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for helping out today. And we have some bell ringers. Okay, Linda Chu, Dudley Thompson, Joe Gorelka, Lorna Padilla-Marcus, Catherine Coleman, Stephanie Casenza, Alita Scola. Thank you. And Dave Cannon, and Linda Bosenecker, Gary Flaxman, Karen Friedman, Jack McAvoy, Joycey Mack, Fred Morris, Nima Link, Ramona Chang. I got it right. Yay! All right. Okay, so these ladies that are coming up next, they're threatening to beat me up, okay, if I don't sell some tickets to this gala. So they're making me a little nervous. So I need all of the club's help and support because I haven't had my ass kicked since college in lacrosse. All right, so I'm most scared of Teresa too. Come on up, Teresa and Carrie. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yeah, come on. So my husband is a man who is very careful with money. And this morning I said to him, is it a good risk to spend $100 on a ticket if you're only selling 100, so you have a 1 in 100 chance of winning? And he said, well, that would just depend on what it is that you win if you make this investment. So I brought out our little packet on the Best of Live auction for Rotary that we're going to be doing at the gala this year. And I said, well, you're winning potentially a week in Maui, or 10 nights in Kathmandu, Nepal, or 3 nights at Sea Ranch, or 8 nights in Morocco. And he said, that's really a good risk. Can we buy a couple tickets? And I said, yes, we can, and we did. So I'm encouraging everybody here. We only sell 100. We've already sold 60, just 40 left. So I'm going to be at the back of the room as we're leaving. If you haven't gotten yet, please buy your Best of Live raffle ticket. Thank you.
Buy tickets to the gala. Tickets to the gala.
No.
Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests, and Rosemary, what style and grace. Okay, ticket sales. The table is being set, the candles are being lit, the food is being prepared. The only thing that's missing is you. So I know who has bought the tickets, thank you very much, but we're still looking for more Rotarians to attend the gala. We have wonderful auction items, and all of these funds will go so that we can continue to provide the outstanding service we do to the community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, they have been truly amazing, an amazing team. So, yeah, I thank you for your work, and it's going to be a fun party. We're going to make it fun, right? I try to make all these events fun. All right. So we do have a St. Vincent de Paul volunteer opportunity. On your tables, you'll see the table display. You can also buy tickets right from the table. There's a QR code you could scan. If you need help, ask someone. Who knows how to use a QR code? Just raise your hand. All right. So most of us do. If you need help, ask a neighbor. But St. Vincent de Paul is coming up on March 23rd from 9 to 1, and this is going to be fun. Easter egg hunts, face painting, brunch, arts and crafts, raffle, photo booth with the Easter Bunny, egg dye station. So they could really use our support. So please feel free to sign up. You can sign up on our event calendar on our website. And then also after that, after the gala, as we're recovering, is we have a day with the A's in San Francisco at Oracle. This is a preseason game with a group pricing, so this is a very good value. We're going to lose our lock. We have a certain number of tickets reserved. They're going to release those to the public. So please, if you intend to go, please buy today or tomorrow. And it'll be a fun social event with the other Rotary clubs from the East Bay and all over San Francisco. Again, on your tables, we not only have where you can buy tickets with a QR code to the gala or the A's game, but we also have Eventbrite listings coming up. So please take a look, mark your calendars. We have some fun activities coming up. And as Dudley Thompson always said, don't keep Rotary a secret. Allison Bliss, are you available to introduce our guest speaker today? All right.
Thank you, President Tom. You have made Rotary really fun this year, don't you think? Good job, Tom. So thank you to CJ Hirschfield and David Stein for inviting Gary Meyer to give us insight on the Academy Awards each year. CJ and David couldn't be here in person, but you can bet they're going to watch the rerun of this Rotary episode. Our speaker has lived and breathed cinema since he was 12 years old and projected a film in his family's barn with the audience in the hayloft. Gary Meyer's resume reads kind of like a Mishner novel, but I'm going to spare you the 4 hours. He co-founded the landmark National Art House theater chain, which helped launch the careers of dozens of filmmakers. He was also co-director of the renowned Telluride Film Festival for 8 years. Gary founded the online magazine Eat, Drink, Films in 2014, where you'll find articles by our very own C.J. Hirschfield. And he continues to consult with film festivals, independent filmmakers, and art cinemas. In 2019, he was inducted into the San Francisco Film's local Hall of Fame. Today, you get to learn from an expert who will give us an insider's view on the Academy Awards to make it way more fun to watch. You'll get a better sense of judging a film not just by the actors, but by the people who actually make the films. The writers, the director teams, the scenic, sound, lighting, photography, editors, and all, including those in front of the camera. Most recently, Gary executive produced the award-winning documentary about an extraordinary food writer called The Art of Eating: The Life of M.F.K. Fisher. Today, he'll share his thoughts and solicit yours, too. On the upcoming Academy Awards, you'll see ballots on your table. Gary Meyer, we welcome you.
Thank you very much. I see in honor of Killers of the Flower Moon, we have flowers on the tables. That's nice. Those photographs you saw, my wife and I got invited to the Oscars in 2014. We always had an Oscar party at our house that had grown to about 70 people. Every room had a TV in it, some were the quiet rooms and some were the comment rooms. And then we got invited to the Oscars, so the party didn't happen in our house. And then we just sort of stopped having a big gathering and converted it to our annual Latkapalooza party. But I wanted to explain what those photographs were. It was quite an experience. I don't think I'd want to go again, but to have been able to go. Actually, the day before, we got to go to the rehearsal, which was really interesting because all the celebrity presenters were actually coming up. They were just dressed in their everyday clothes, but they were coming up and rehearsing their presentations. And so watching that was fascinating. Some who just were right on spot and wanted to get in and out, and other ones who played around and wanted to change the words that had been written for them, which I understand because it's often terrible. You know, at those awards shows, all of them, the hosts and the presenters, it's all written for them, and they're reading it off a teleprompter. And it's really too bad because I think some of them, well, some of them go off course a little bit, you can tell. We're going to talk about this year's Oscars, and you have, I'm not sure which ballot you got, or did you get two different kinds on your, which? Oh, you got both, okay. So the Rotten Tomatoes is interesting just because it tells you, in the left column, the rating, the overall rating for the critics, although it's questionable because there are a lot of critics who are just like online, you know, pundits. And then to the right, that is the audience reaction to that film. And that was just kind of fun to look at it. I'm not sure where to start on this. Maybe we'll start at the bottom of the list and kind of work our way up to the big ones. But first, has anybody seen every single film that's been nominated? You have, and you have every film, including the shorts and the documentaries. Okay. But you've seen everything? All right, you get a prize. I have a prize. We'll give it to you afterwards, okay? That's better? Okay. Who has seen all 10 Best Pictures nominees in a theater? Oh, come on. One of them, in a theater. Who hasn't seen any of the nominated films? Okay, you've got a lot of work to do in the next few days. Most of the films are now available streaming, but a few of them, like The Poor Things and American Fiction, they're streaming, but they're also available at the Grand Lake. and at the Piedmont, I believe. So there are a couple of them that you can still see in a theater. And of course, I always recommend you see it in the theater because that's the way the film was meant to be seen. It will be with an audience, and your attention should be focused on the screen as opposed to having to go to the bathroom and checking the refrigerator or answering the phone and things like that. So that's my lecture for the day. So there, quickly we'll go over the short subjects. Short subjects used to kind of be forgotten. Nobody knew about them, and in the last few years, you can actually go to theaters and see them as a package. All the short documentaries, the short animated, and the short live action. We're getting some feedback. Okay, and they're fascinating, and most of them are also available on streaming. So in the short animated category, I am suggesting that there's no question that War is Over will be the winner. It's an important subject matter, it's beautifully animated, and it is with music by John Lennon, and it was done by his son, Sean, and Yoko. It's a beautiful film, but all of them are quite wonderful. The short film live action is really interesting because Wes Anderson, who's famous for doing feature films, did a series of shorts for Netflix based on Roald Dahl. And this one, The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar, probably will get the award because he's well known. He's never won an Oscar for his features, but he's been nominated many times. And a lot of people in the industry vote for people who give employment to more people in the industry. So I think that's likely, but Red, White, and Blue is a possible surprise. And in the best documentaries, The Last Repair Shop, hands down, I think, Ben Proudfoot, he won the Oscar a few years ago for Queen of Basketball, if any of you saw that wonderful short, and was nominated for Conversation with the Concerto, which CJ wrote about on my newsletter. And so it's a terrific film about people who repair musical instruments for schools in Los Angeles so that kids can learn to play music and go on to a career. It is, I believe it's on New York Times online. You can stream it there. Okay, editing. A film is made by the editor. Yes, it's written by someone. We're not in a movie theater. Please silence that phone. But we are sort of like in a movie theater. Anyway, did anybody see the movie The Conversation by Francis Coppola with Gene Hackman? So Francis Coppola made a film that was unwatchable. And a guy named Walter Murch, who lives here in the Bay Area, saved that film, made that film what it is today. So editing is an absolutely fascinating category. All these films are beautifully edited. I believe Oppenheimer will win because it's complex. It's a lengthy story with a lot of different time shifts, and it's just masterfully done. And you'll see that I think that Oppenheimer is going to be kind of a sweep here this year. I think most people agree with that. I don't personally think it was the best film of the year, but I thought it was a terrific movie. Visual effects. Now, since I was a kid, and probably since a lot of you were kids, you remember seeing special effects in movies, and they were really fun. Now they've come to a level that's sort of impossible to calculate how much money it costs to make those films. You know, we're talking about $200 million, $300 million on some of these films with all these incredible special effects. But one film cost under $15 million. Godzilla Minus Zero. Now don't laugh. It's an absolutely terrific movie. Did anybody see Godzilla Minus Zero? It is not just a monster movie. It has a lot more going for it. It's sort of like The Best Years of Our Lives from the Japanese point of view. Men who came home from the war, dejected, of course, because the Japanese lost in World War II, but guilty that they survived and so many of their combat partners didn't survive. And they band together to battle Godzilla. So that's where it gets to the monster thing. But for under $15 million, they have an incredible film. And all these other films, which have beautiful special effects, may all cancel each other out because people will be, from the various trades, will be voting for the big studio blockbusters. And none of them may get enough, and hopefully, because it's a large international membership now, Godzilla Minus Zero could win. And it wound up actually being a surprise hit in America. It did well over $50 million in U.S. box office at a time when nothing was playing out there. Production design and costume design, both really interesting, the visual grandeur that we see. And costume design is going to be a toss-up because Barbie looked wonderful. People dressed up like the Barbie characters to go to the movies. I don't know if any saw it in a theater where there were lots of people dressed up. It was great. But Poor Things is a period piece, and the Academy tends to like period pieces, and the BAFTA, the British Awards, just were awarded in that category to Poor Things. So it's kind of a toss-up. I'm not going to call that one. And production design, it's the same group of films, and I think the same situation is with that. But kind of, I don't know. I think that they're both going to be a toss-up in that. Sound. Sound is really interesting because Oppenheimer probably will win, and yet there's something about Christopher Nolan, the director, where he decides to raise the sound effects and the music so high at times that we can't understand the dialogue. The owner of the Grand Lake Theater says whenever they play a Christopher Nolan movie, they get lots of complaints. And I've talked to other theater owners that say the same thing, and he does that on purpose, and I don't know why. He wants to challenge us. But I think that there may be a surprise in the zone of interest because the sound in that is quite incredible. It's a difficult film to see. How many of you have seen Zone of Interest? So this is a German film set in a house in a wall next to Auschwitz. And the father of the family oversees Auschwitz. And his family lives in denial about what's on the other side of that wall. And the sound is quite chilling in the film. So it's a difficult film to watch, but I think it's very much one we're seeing. It does not have the typical Holocaust photography that we would see inside the camps. It's more of a psychological thing. How are we doing in time? So I know what to do. Okay, we're fine. How many of you like foreign films? And have you seen any of the nominated foreign films? So one film that got nominated in 5 categories, I think 4 or 5 categories, was Anatomy of a Fall, but it was not submitted by the French to the Best International. Now it's called the Best International Films. Instead, they submitted a wonderful film called The Taste of Things, but it didn't make the final cut. So my personal favorite film of the 5 is a film called Perfect Days by Wim Wenders. It's just been released. And it's interesting that they've changed it from Best Foreign Film to Best International Film because several of these movies were directed by people who are not from the countries that the films are set in. In Perfect Days, Wim Wenders is a German director, but the film is totally in Japanese. He doesn't speak Japanese, but it's in Japanese, it's set in Tokyo, and a really, really beautiful film. I think Zone of Interest, directed in Germany about a German subject by a British director, is most likely the one that's going to win. I think all of them are terrific and worth seeking out, especially if you have not had a lot of experience with foreign language films to see just how involved you can get. I mean, most of us probably watch television with the closed captions on anyway. I do. And so you're already kind of used to subtitles now. Documentaries. As always, the documentaries are all worthy of your time. They're absolutely terrific. I think 20 Days in Mariupol is the sure winner because it is about Ukraine. It is unbelievably powerful. It is really hard to watch because they did not flinch the camera as they are watching the invasion and the hospitals being invaded and bombed. And I'm quite sure that's the film that's going to win. Animated features. I love animation. Again, they're all really good. My guess is that Spider-Verse will win because the previous one won, and it has so many different styles of animation in the film. And even if you can't follow the storyline, because often with these Marvel stories, they don't make a lot of sense to us, the young people like them, but it's just great to watch. But my personal favorite is a film by the Japanese director Hayao Miyazaki. Maybe some of you have seen Spirited Away, which he won an Oscar for, or Princess Mononoke, or My Neighbor Totoro. And his film, The Boy and the Heron, was also a surprise hit in America. and is an absolutely beautiful film. I think we'll now get to, well, music. You know, the songs, I never know until I see them on the Oscar show which ones I really like, because usually they're in the film, they're integrated into the film in such a way that I'm not coming out singing a song. It's not like a Broadway musical. Barbie is going to probably be the winner, but there are two Barbie songs in the running. I'm Just Ken is kind of, in a way, a popular favorite, but the other song by Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For, is probably going to be the winner. She's fun, people like her, and the film is, the song is terrific as well. And Best Musical Score, I'm guessing that's Oppenheimer, again, because it was quite good, although sometimes it drowned out the dialogue. Original screenplay. Anatomy of a Fall is my guess. Fascinating film about a woman whose husband falls to his death from their home. And the film is about, did she push him? Did he fall? Did he jump? What actually happened? And we're going through the whole process in the courtroom trying to determine. And in some ways, you still have to make certain decisions at the end of the film yourself. But I think it's a really compelling film and quite a unique film. But again, everything in that category. The Holdovers, absolutely wonderful, feel-good movie. You know, often the nominations don't have a lot of feel-good movies, but that one is terrific. Anybody seen The Holdovers? Great. You agree it's terrific? Yeah. Maestro, I think that Bradley Cooper did a great job. There are criticisms that people say, well, but he didn't cover his whole life. No, it's about a part of his life. And there's probably a lot more movies that could be made about his life. And there have been some great documentaries. May December is a really interesting story about the school teacher who was having an affair with her student. And then she went to jail. When she came back, they got married. And it's Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. An absolutely fascinating story, beautifully done. And Past Lives, which is the sort of the sleeper film of the year, about a Korean couple in America, in New York, and I urge you to see it. Anybody seen Past Lives? Great, so I'm glad that these films are being represented by people. All right, so we're going to get to in front of the camera. I know, Angela, you're sort of tired of that stuff, but how many people let's start with Best Acting, actor in a supporting role. How many people think it's Sterling K. Brown from American Fiction? Okay. Robert De Niro from Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay. Robert Downey in Oppenheimer. Okay. Ryan Gosling from Barbie. And Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. So I think that you have voted the way that the Academy is going to vote, and that's for Robert Downey in Oppenheimer. And if he wins, he's always a lot of fun up on stage. He always is in jokes and has a great time. He's a very good actor. Just people have been thinking of him from Iron Man a lot, but he's done a lot of wonderful things. Actress in a supporting role, I don't think anybody's questioning that Divine Joy from Randolph from The Holdovers is going to win. She's been winning all the awards. She's wonderful in the film. Again, they're all really good performances, but that's the one to put your money on, in my opinion. Okay, actor in the leading role. How many of you think Bradley Cooper? One person. All right. Coleman Domingo, Rustin. Okay. Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers? 3, okay. Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer? Okay. And Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction? Okay. I think that, again, the majority is right. I think it's Cillian Murphy on that one. I realized that I forgot to do the adapted screenplay. And again, all really good screenplays, but I think that American Fiction wins hands down. Anybody seen American Fiction? Great. It's at the Grand Lake. I urge you to see it with an audience. It's a very interesting story, and it kind of fits into being about writing. Obviously fits in about being about writing. Okay, actress in a leading role. I'm going to do another poll here. Annette Bening in Naiad. Okay. Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay. Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall. Carey Mulligan in Maestro. Emma Stone and Poor Things. So I guess a lot of you haven't seen these films or aren't ready to raise your hand and make an opinion on that. I think it's generally considered that Lily Gladstone will win. Her performance is terrific. Personally, I am not a big fan of the movie. I loved the book. I thought it should have been a series. Scorsese changed the direction of the film. They threw out a script that went in one way, and they went with a script that was supposed to be celebrating the native Osage community, and I don't think that it really does. It's still about two white men. They're in the background, but she is in the forefront, and she is fantastic in the film. Also, Mr. Scorsese, who wants to sit through 3 hours and 45 minutes without an intermission? And a couple of theaters actually put their own intermission in, and they got in trouble, and Scorsese said, look, people sit at home and they binge movie, TV series for, 5-6 hours. And I said, yeah, but they can also stop it and go to the bathroom. So you might not know, there is actually a website called Run Pee, and it tells you where in the movie you can go out to. They've watched the movie and they've made notes and said, well, if you leave here for 5 minutes, you won't miss anything important. It's called runp.com. All right, here's the top two. Directing. Should we do another poll, or should you want me to just... Okay, poll. All right, directing. We have Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall. Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon. Quiet room here. Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. All right. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. Okay. And Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest, which most of you don't know, have an opinion on. Okay, I think the majority is with the world, and it's Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. All right, and we're going to get to the best picture. I guess it's kind of a foregone conclusion. So we'll just say it's going to be Oppenheimer. But I would say, other than my personal opinion about Killers of the Flower Moon, every film in Best Picture this year is, in my opinion, is absolutely worthy of your time and interest. They are great movies. It's a fantastic array of what the world of movies are all about. I hope that you will go see some movies in the theaters this year as it's feeling safer to do it. If you go to a theater like the Grand Lake or downstairs at the Piedmont, those are big theaters. And unless you go on the opening weekend of a blockbuster, you can sit as far away from other people as you want and have a great experience. And those are locally owned theaters. The Grand Lake is Alan Michon's theater, and it is beautifully run. The staff makes you feel like you're part of the family there. And the prices are cheaper than the other theaters too. Okay, should we go to questions?
All right, I've got a question, and I'm holding the mic, so that's good. What about Greta? I mean, isn't that a bummer that she didn't even get anything from the Academy?
Well, she got nominated as a producer of Barbie, but yeah, I think it's unfair. It's a shame. She's turned out to be a terrific writer and director. With Lady Bird and Little Women are both knockout films. She had been a terrific actress before that, and yeah, it's a shame, but we don't know. There's no, people are voting privately and they make those decisions. So I can't give you an answer on it other than to say, yeah, I'm sorry that she's not on there.
Questions? Let's go. Come on, you got to be excited. This is a big thing, this Oscars. Nobody has a question for the man. Don't be shy. Here we go. I knew this guy would have a question. It's going to be incredible. Get ready for this.
Hello. I was wondering what you think about the Hollywood Foreign Press. The Hollywood Foreign Press.
The Golden Globes.
Yeah.
After years of everybody laughing at them, and they're having a scandal, they then kind of have tried to turn things around and be a little bit more serious. I don't know how serious it is, but they're trying. Instead of having a select group of critics or film writers who didn't really have much legitimacy be the voters, they've now expanded it to having the more serious people there. It's a fun award show to watch because people have been eating and drinking and they're kind of loose. I think most of these award shows are terribly produced. The Spirit Awards, which celebrates independent films, used to be a wonderful show that was really in the spirit of independent films. And John Waters was the master of ceremonies, so if any of you know who John Waters is, that was really fun. And now they're trying too hard. It was on 2 weeks ago, and it's all scripted. And they're just trying to get big stars there. And I'm afraid it was a bore, a terrible bore. The Globes, you know, we watch them. We tape them. We watch them starting an hour or two later so that we can speed through the commercials or anything that seems like it's boring. But I don't know, I'm not a member. I've tried to be a member of the Academy twice, but they have never really let theater owners and film festival people be on the Academy list. But thank you. So you're the first person from the floor to ask a question, and so you'll have a prize, okay? Afterwards, come up to me. Yep. Yes.
I have a comment. I really enjoyed the repertoire that De Niro had, the young guy, with the, the other guy. I now forget his name. See, under pressure. Okay. No, Robert De Niro and DiCaprio. When they're there you go. Yeah, I like the repertoire that they had, DiCaprio and De Niro, when he was in jail, and he was talking to him because he had actually turned on him. And I really appreciated how, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name. And DiCaprio, okay.
We're short on
There
time.
it is. And how DiCaprio has really matured, and he was able to actually go one-on-one with De Niro, who's like a very seasoned actor. So I was very impressed with DiCaprio's performance there, and I finally got his name right.
They're both great
It's
actors,
just
what
a
can I say?
comment.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hold on, we got one more to go?
Real quick.
Okay, here we go. It's got to be quick, though. Flashlight, not ice cream cone.
Gary, Lois Horn, you guys know that.
Yep, I know Lowe's for our
And so
kids went to school together.
I just want to give you a shout out for all those wonderful parties that we experienced in the past. And just thank you for keeping us up every year on what's going on. And to remind people, do go to the theater. I think that's
Right.
really important.
Do you have a question? Can you
That was just a comment.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're done. Are we done?
All right.
I think we're done. We're done.
Oh, hold on. Ralph wants to say something.
Okay.
Because so many of you are driving me crazy for the past 3 years. It's a flashlight, not an ice cream cone. Flashlight, ice cream cone. Okay? Like this.
All right.
Ralph Sklar, everybody. Alex has a question?
All right.
Hold on, Tom. No time.
We're over time.
But maybe he'll stay
So-
for a few minutes afterwards. Gary, you got somewhere to go?
Yeah, he'll be here for a few minutes.
He'll be here for 2 hours.
Yes, and can you get the mic to the back? I want Will Hobbs to be prepared to just say a couple words real quick.
And Tom,
so
bell ringing
Will, okay. So, Will, let me just hold it there. Thank you so much, Gary, for being here today and being our guest speaker. And you come here, it's almost a tradition now, I think. So thank you, Gary. Let's give him a round of applause. So Gary, it's custom for us to give a donation in our guest's name to a charity or cause. And this year, my area of focus has been around youth and parks and open space. So we'll be making a donation in your name to the Friends of Joaquin Miller Park, who strive to make the park more beautiful, more accessible, and while reducing the risk of wildfire. So thank you for being here today, Gary.
Thank you. It's one of my favorite parks.
Me too. So, Will Hobbs.
Yes, President Tom.
You-
I'd like to share with Rotarians that on February 29th, the Alameda County Board of Education,
A little louder, Will, sorry.
the Alameda County Board of Education created its newest Parenting Teens program and named it for my wife, Carolyn Hobbs. It's called the Carolyn Hobbs Academy. And I'd also like to thank Rotarian Christy Johnson-Lamone for facilitating the partnership between ACOE and La Placita to create that site and that location. And I'd like to ring the bell for Carolyn and for Christy.
All right, thank you, Will. Okay, so a bell ring to our guests is a generous $100 donation tax-deductible donation to our Oakland Rotary Endowment. Ms. Lorna.
I just wanted to say, President Tom and fellow Rotarians, my heart is full seeing the room so full, and particularly seeing folks like Peter Turner, Catherine Coleman, celebrating Rosemary Darden. I'd like to ring the bell 3 times.
Oh, thank you, Lorna. All right, and thank you all to being here today. Before you leave, in the back of the room, there's going to be some glass beads.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tom.
So one is if you like the lunch, one is if you didn't like the lunch. So we're trying to gauge people's interest on the lunch.
It's a good
Which
question.
is which?
If you enjoyed it, you're going to use the clear. If you didn't like it, you've got the blues.
Blue,
So,
bad.
Bad tummy, blues.
Okay, so we're trying to dial this in, everyone. Miss Ruth Straub, can you share a little bit about what's happening next week in the ballroom?
In the ballroom next week on
The 14th.
the 14th, we have a very, very special program. Seth Butner, who missed a year of being president in the ballroom, will be president for the day, and he'll be co-presenting with Linda Hamilton. They'll do some history and some COVID perspective. Can y'all believe it's been 4 years since we all got to stay home, and now we'll all get to be back in the ballroom. So really, let's fill up the ballroom and get everybody back here, because the week after, we got the gala, and we're going to be dark. So this is your chance to see your fellow Rotarians at lunchtime.
All right, thank you, Ruth. And also, we're going to take a group photo from the balcony. We haven't done that in I don't know how many years, but we're going to get a group photo, so we all want everybody here looking good as usual. So thank you all for being here today. Thanks to everyone who helped make this meeting a success. And please bust your own tables. And if you want to purchase tickets to the gala, you can purchase it through Jesse or the A's game. And thank you everyone again for being here today. And remember, Oakland Rotary is here for you. This meeting is adjourned.